Once again, a good morning to you for Saturday. It's Breakfast Extra, 14 November. We mark World Diabetes Day. A reminder that diabetes is no longer someone else's problem. Now, this year's theme, Diabetes Across Life Stages, highlights a critical truth. From childhood to adulthood and into old age, diabetes can affect anyone. In Nigeria, lifestyle changes, urbanization, rising obesity, Tinubunomics, and lack of preventative care are driving a surge in type 2 diabetes. Managing it isn't just about medication, it's about what you eat, how you move, how you live at every stage of your life.
Joining us is Dr. Temitope, the lead dietitian at Torium Consult, who will guide us through lifestyle management strategies for diabetes prevention and care. Dr. T, for short. Good morning. Oh, thank you for being here with us.
Hi.
Mazino is excited.
Am I?
You are.
You seem more excited, and so I thought to myself, I'll let the two of you do most of the talking today.
I'm sharing my excitement.
Well, I will take it then. Thank you very much. Dr. T, as she calls you. What do we need to know about type 2 diabetes? Diabetes generally, especially in the conditions we find ourselves living in Nigeria.
Okay, so diabetes. What is diabetes itself? Okay, what is diabetes? A lot of people do not know what diabetes is. People say diabetes and then they say sugar. Okay, but diabetes just simply means that the inability of your body to use what we an hormone called insulin. Inability to use it, or inability to produce enough of it, or when there's a complete lack of insulin, then you say someone has diabetes. It's not necessarily because you ate sugar. Because really, literally, everything that we eat is sugar. Carbohydrate. And the end product of
sugar.
Carbohydrate is glucose, which is sugar. Okay, so diabetes, right now we've realized that diabetes is not just a thing of the old people. It's not for, according to this year's team, it says lifestyle management across life stages. So now we're now seeing more influx of DM in children, in young adolescent, young adults, and even more incidents in older people. So it's important that it's now everybody's problem. So it's important that we have discussions around diabetes.
So now you've clarified, because honestly, when you say diabetes, everybody look at it and say, sugar. So now that you said it's not sugar, how do people, manage their lifestyle to avoid this? Because now that you've mentioned it's now more rampant, it's no longer old people's disease or illness.
People as young as 5, 6, 7.
Yeah, it's now everybody. So it's either you don't have insulin at all, you're producing little, or you're producing too much, right?
Or inability to actually use
what you produce. Yes.
So how can it be preventable, and how can we do that?
Okay. So they are more, as a clinical dietitian, our focus should be, so you can have 10 diabetic patients and their medical nutrition therapy can be 10. So it means that each person's management is different. So as a clinical dietitian, our major goals is to always provide medical nutrition therapy per patient based on what is wrong with the patient, based on the patient's current sugar levels, the FBS, the fasting blood glucose, the 2 hours postprandial, the HbA1c. These are different tests that, individuals do. The food preference, the 24 hours dietary recall, the food history, the cultural preferences. These are things that, You want to find out before saying, oh, you eat this, you don't eat this. But there are major things that cut across all of these 10 people, and that is, we know that you should eat whole grains, avoid processed foods or even ultra-processed foods that are overly processed. We know that we want you to eat carbohydrates within a restricted amount, be calculated by your dietitians. We want you to eat fruits and vegetables. In short, I tell patients that when you eat food, and then the sugar is, imagine you're on an express, and then of course you're just pressing your accelerator. The moment you see a bump ahead, what do? You step on your brake. And so vegetables are like the speed bumps. Like, it helps to actually slow down the rate at which, you know, the sugar enters flows within the bloodstream. So vegetables are a major part when talking about diabetes. We also advise that you have increased physical activity. A lot of us, when we eat, the next thing we want to do is what? Sleep.
Isn't that what it says on the menu? Here, Amala, next, sleep.
I'm telling you.
Okay, so a lot of us want to sleep. We don't want you to do that. Have steps that you know you take. Okay, take few steps. Don't just sit down there and then all the food. Some people eat breakfast on that chair, lunch on that chair. No, it shouldn't be that.
It's called living in Lagos.
Well, okay, so we want you to, you know, have increased physical activity, minimum of like 6,000 steps.
A day?
A day.
That's a lot.
Well, that's not it. That's just average of 6,000 steps, because if you're actually a very active person, some people do as much as 10,000, 12,000 steps a day. So average of 6,000 steps a day.
Dr. T, you said
dietitian.
Sorry, dietitian T.
Yes, please. Witty dietitian.
All right. So you said something very interesting regarding how diabetes works, for lack of a better word. You say it's either the inability to create or the inability to make use of. Is that the basis upon which the different nomenclature is given to the disease?
Okay.
Diabetes 1, 2, and so on.
Okay. So when the body cannot produce insulin at all, okay, that's the one we refer to as the type 1 diabetes.
When you can't, your pancreas don't work.
Okay. And it's usually common with childhood and some young adolescents.
Curable?
Well, no.
Okay.
No, it's not. But
genetic?
But it's very manageable with the use of insulin. Okay? Then type 2, when we talk about type 2, we're talking about, you know, there's a production of insulin, but it's not sufficient, it's not adequate. Okay? And so we could manage either using, in short, we manage using all three folds. Lifestyle approach, dietary approach, the drug therapy approach, all inclusive, and that is the most predominant type of diabetes, the type 2 diabetes. I think this International Federation of International Diabetic Federation, this is November, the statistics for the number of, the recent statistics is about 589 million people actually have diabetes. And even, you know, as we said, there's an increase with children, there's a surge, about 1.8 million children and young adolescents actually have diabetes. So it's actually a major concern. And then you have the third type, which is gestational diabetes.
Gestational diabetes.
Yes, that occurs among pregnant women. It comes during pregnancy. And then you have, in quotes, the fourth one, where we talk about the pre-diabetic, okay, when we talk about impaired glucose tolerance, impaired fasting tolerance. So that is just showing that, oh, you're not yet diabetic, but you are at the risk, you are at the bus stop of being diabetic. In short, recently I heard that there's a type 5, there's a type 5 diabetic, although it's still It was
On the
just,
study.
it's still on the study, more about genetic and environmental factors. And that's why lifestyle is extremely...
You keep harping on that.
Yes.
But then every Nigerian always thinks of diabetes as what you eat, what you ingest. We've said that, yes. However, will eating, and if you can tell us categorically, will eating too much sugar lead to diabetes?
Okay. So when we say sugar...
No, I mean literal sugar. I want the layman to understand this.
Yes,
So when we say literal sugar, if I eat too much literal sugar now, as
When
the
you say sugar,
fable...
it's in processed foods. And
No, not
stuff.
processed foods this time. I mean actual sugar.
Okay, so let's break
I
it.
know, but what if? What if, Queen? Just what
Okay,
if?
so let's break it down. When we say sugar, okay, because everything that we eat, as I said, is sugar.
Yeah.
We have the complex sugars and then the simple sugars, which I believe that is what you're talking
Yes,
about.
because your grandmother say, don't drink it, it's too sweet, you get diabetes.
Okay,
So that's what
the
I'm going.
simple sugars from sugar cane.
Let's
Yes,
use
because
the
sugar.
organic ones.
No. So sugar is made from what? Beets or sugar cane.
You're right.
Okay, so simple sugar. So for one that is already diabetic, there's something wrong with the pancreas. If you eat too much of simple
That's
sugars,
harmful.
yes, that is
But
extremely.
if I'm healthy and I eat a lot of sugar,
Why do you want to eat a lot of
because
it?
it's my
sweet.
coping mechanism for the trauma that Lagos is putting me through. And it is. Because food is comfort, and most people eat only sweet stuff. It's comfort food for me. I mean, I do fast food and stuff.
Okay.
I know I shouldn't, I know.
Okay.
But I'm wondering, will that cause diabetes
For you?
for me? And let's hope that I'm absolutely healthy.
Okay, so let's hope you're absolutely healthy,
consuming
and then you
that.
keep engaging in this dangerous act of consuming. Yeah, you use
You're judging.
No.
You're judging. I don't like when you're judging.
Dangerous act of consuming sugar excessively. Every action has its own what? Consequences. So there's a probability that, it's a risk, it's something that can predispose you. If you continually do this, okay, including poor
no
lifestyle, with no speed bumps,
You're learning. Yes.
with no speed bumps, you're still sitting in your chair, you're not moving as you
That's
should.
New Central's problem. They don't let us move about. We're working every day.
As you
HR.
should. Okay, so even without a family history, okay, if you have a poor dietary lifestyle of consuming things like that over time, you can, or an individual can be predisposed to diabetes.
Even if I did stop eating all that good sweet food, I would still be predisposed because I work with her and she's too sweet. That's so cheesy, I know. I just it's very cheesy.
Don't worry, my type of sweetness don't give diabetes.
Oh, nice.
There's a
Well,
lot
back
of
on
sweet
track.
bread.
Let's talk about World Diabetes Day
Day.
now. So I will definitely get diabetes if these are my habits and I continue to eat simple sugars.
Yes.
So our grandmothers aren't wrong then. They're not wrong. They are correct. If you eat too much of this, you will get diabetes.
Yeah. So even if it is not diabetes, if you eat too much of anything, you would get something from it.
Okay. Now let's talk about managing diabetes.
Okay.
How expensive is it? Because the problem with Nigerians, and you'll agree with me, Queen,
Expensive.
it's not that they don't want to go and check and know what's wrong with them. Is that when I go and I find out and I start spending. So how manageable is it for people who need to hear that hopeful, I'm hoping it's hopeful, message? You're not looking very hopeful. you're not encouraging this hope here.
As I said, I work in a facility and we see different casts of individuals every day. Okay? Hopeful. If the hopeful news or the good news that I have is that if you eat well, and one thing I tell my patient, it's small food, small sugar. Big food, big sugar.
Oh,
Okay?
portion control.
So, so when we say small food, okay, it's helping you to manage the quantity of food that you eat. Okay, you don't have to sit down with that big bowl of rice. Okay, so that's good news there. Eat half or of that plate. 2 servings, it's okay for you.
Like the spoon they use in Owambe.
Yes, 2 servings, it's fine for
Literally.
you. Just ensure that you had the speed breakers vegetables to now make you feel fuller, okay? Yes, there's the mental health part of it of, oh, okay, I have type 2 diabetes. How am I going to do it? I'm going to be on drugs for life or even insulin for life. Yes, are the drugs cheap? Not so cheap, okay? Because if you have to take something constantly, it means either you like it or not, you have to spend money, okay? But like where I work, there are health insurance schemes now that now help to give drugs. I think that some diabetic drugs are.
Doesn't diabetes fall under any underlying health? What's it called? You know how to put it in the fine print.
Metformin is it's covered where I work. It's covered on the health insurance scheme. Yes, DM, hypertension. Yes, I know.
Now
they're
let's talk
covered.
children real quick in terms of, the statistics for children. I know growing up they talked about, breastfeeding children so that, they're forming and all that. But these days I don't think a lot of people really focus on that because you have all sort of formulas. I still take Celiac. Don't judge me.
Baby food is okay.
I am.
So, baby girl.
How can mothers prevent their children? Because I know that some of them is not hereditary, So would it be the formula? Is there some level of advising or don't give them
what
formula
to take and what not to
until, how can they prevent it? Because now I know that baby food are pretty expensive, so people will just go for the cheaper ones and all. We're not so sure these days what's in the market, if they're FDA approved and all what. So what would be the advice to parents so that their children don't get, the risk of diabetes or any kind of illnesses?
Okay.
You're going to say breastfeed until she's 6. I knew it. I knew it. Go ahead and say it again.
Just last Monday. This was still this Saturday. This Monday, last Monday. And I was giving my regular health talk, and I told them, pregnant women, I'm not going to beg you. I'm not going to beg you to do exclusive breastfeeding anymore because the prices of, infant formulas have skyrocketed.
Nigeria will tell you.
Yeah. To humble you.
Exactly, that's the word. But the truth is that over and over, of course, in Lagos, there's now there's about a over 50% increase, I think about 57% increase in the rate of exclusive breastfeeding. So
that's good.
We're doing our work in Lagos State. Okay, so one thing we say is this: if you eat well during pregnancy, you exclusively breastfeed your children, you you give food as natural as possible. Okay, to your kids, avoiding sugars, or you use their sugar replacements, refined sugar replacement like dates as sweeteners instead of these things, and then you avoid things that actually contain excess sugars. Okay, just last week, instead of I don't want to mention, instead of a particular brand of drink, I told my children we were going to make what we call poro kababa drink. That's guinea corn stem. Okay? And then we made it our juice for school. And then we sweetened with honey. Yes, we used honey. And then it was sweet. And they took it to school. Okay? So what I'm trying to say is that there are actually healthy alternatives if we choose to look for it. Yes.
So now it's our job to look for it. If not, there's something she said last time. I'm trying to remember.
Now, don't worry, we'll come after the show when we don't need it.
Well, thank you.
These are very interesting alternatives that you have given, and also lifestyle choices that actually will show how.
So Mazino can follow us.
I will try my best, but the truth is that for me, sugar is sugar. Alternatively, if you're asking me to use bee poop, I'm very averse.
So how often do you eat your vegetables? How often do you take salad?
Risky burger, sir.
That question's for me.
Fruits.
Well,
How often do you eat?
I
eat
do
fruit?
admit that I am naturally averse
You see,
to
another
fruit.
major problem is that when we say diet, the average Nigerian thinks that diet has to be expensive. No, it doesn't have to. You don't have to take kiwi. There's orange. Apoki will sell 100 naira orange to you.
But you do know that these natural, unprocessed foods are becoming more expensive. I bought a pineapple the other day for 2,000 naira.
Okay?
Where?
I would have had good amala for 2,000 naira.
So we're not saying do not eat amala. But when you, how much is a bottle of fizzy drink? Oh, I'm sure you would not, only you would not finish the 2,000 naira pineapple.
Well, I saved it till the next day.
Do you understand? Even till the next day.
And this is because I'm trying to get over my aversion to fruit. I'm not naturally inclined to eat fruit. I'm wondering how I've lasted this long, but the only fruit that I consider fruit are bananas.
You've
and
lasted for God's grace.
yes, it has been God's grace running through my veins. But yeah, so I'm trying to change the habit because I know I'm getting older and I need these alternate forms
so
of.
I love what you just said. Change. You're making conscious effort. And I think one of what I would want Nigerians or everyone watching is to start making conscious effort to try to make their health better. Let's drink water. Let's exercise. Let's eat fruits and vegetables. And let's just be more. Let's go for screening. Do not wait until something happens. You're not necessarily looking for anything any bad thing in quote to happen.
They say
to
don't
you.
go looking for what you.
No,
what
you're
you
not
know.
necessarily looking for.
I joke.
You know, but you're not, because you're not necessarily looking for any bad thing to happen. But when you detect these things on time, especially the pre-diabetic stage, it's at pre-diabetic stage, you know, with lifestyle modification and drug therapy, it's still reversible. But the problem is that a lot of people now, you know, you're experiencing blood vision, excessive urination, excessive thirst, excessive hunger, and then you just take it like that. You know, go for a checkup, and then hopefully things get better from there.
Dietitian Fawehinmi Temitope, I want to say thank you very much for ending our show on such a grand note and on personal levels where we know we have to take sample from what we are hearing here, not just for the viewers. Thank you very much for coming.
You're welcome.